Okay, the all-time Buffalo Bills team. Most likely, like always, we will do offense, then defense, and special teams. Today we are looking at a franchise, the Buffalo Bills, which has been a struggling, but also they've had some great highlights out of there in terms of how the Buffalo Bills have played, how they maintain some success for the most part. Don't diminish their entire thing, but they've had some pretty good years. So let's take a look at this Bills history, and it all starts where they were established. They were established in 1960, so pretty much 57 years now. Their first season was 1960, and they play in and are headquartered. They are in New Era Field, that's where they play in, and they are headquartered in Orchard Park, New York. So overall, up there in Buffalo, small-esque kind of town. Compared to New York City, it's definitely smaller. A part of the AFL from 1960 to 69. You're looking at being a part of this Eastern Division in the AFL from 1960 to 69. But as soon as the merger happened and everything happened, it just became the National Football League, the NFL, from 1970 to now. Buffalo Bills organization has been in the AFC from 1970 till now. So nothing has changed, and they've been in the AFC since 1970. So nothing has changed. They haven't moved. They haven't done anything. The team colors are royal blue, red, white, and navy blue. So pretty nice. They do have a fight song. Definitely not. Some of them don't. Their fight song is Shout. For the most part, Shout. So now, their owner is Terrence and Kim Pegula. The CEO, same, Terrence Pegula. President, Russ Brandon. The GM, Brandon Beane, and the head coach as of right now is Sean McDermott. So their team history, pretty much, they have won 2 league championships. They also won 2 AFL championships, 64 and 65. Overall, they have won 4 AFC titles, 1990, 91, 92, 93. We all know about that. A fantastic run of 4 straight AFC titles, 4 straight Super Bowls for this Buffalo Bills team in the early 90s. They were fantastic. They also won 10 division championships. In the AFL East, they won it 3 times, 64, 65, and 66. And the AFC East, they won it in 80, 88, 89, 90, 91, 93, 95. They've also been in the playoffs 17 times. In the AFL, it was 4, from 1963 to 1966. And in the NFL, set 1974, 80 to 81, 88, all the way to 93, 95 to 96, 98 to 99, and have not been in the playoffs since 1999, which is why I say they do have some rough history. So overall, yeah, they have been in New Era Field since 1973, but there was a time where they were in War Memorial Stadium that they played in 1960 to 72. So overall, this is a very cool franchise, very loyal. Like, I really love Bills fans are just really crazy. Honestly, what I see is a fantastic franchise that has had definitely stars come and go, and they've been there, almost there, but they definitely have not won a Super Bowl championship. So this is another team that I have on here that I would love for them to win a Super Bowl championship. So, you got Jacksonville out there. It's only one. That's 1-0. I would love to see them win. I would love to see Buffalo win. Jets only have 1. Love to see them win more. And Colts, they only have 2. So definitely some teams right now, as of right now, where definitely fans are reaching out. They want to make sure that they see their team win eventually. And I think all these teams will win eventually. Okay. So we're going to start with the Buffalo Bills. Who's going to be the QB? It's going to be a guy that's super tough in life, battling cancer now, beating it out. Just a tough guy, tough individual, and he was tough as a football player. People don't give him enough credit for that, but he was a tough guy out there in that Bills uniform. So overall, you got to give it to him. I think Jim Kelly has done fantastic things as a part of the Buffalo Bills organization is concerned. Played some time in the USFL. Finally, they got him in '86 as a Buffalo Bill, and pretty much has been a QB ever since until retiring after the '96 season, I believe. So overall, It's the guy that led him to 4 straight Super Bowls. It's the guy that, you know, had some fantastic years out there. And he really, in my opinion, really led this offense just super nicely, like in terms of the pace, the transition. He was a fast-paced, quick QB, and he can get the ball out in a jiff. So honestly, I think having Jim Kelly as the starter, as that guy, there is no other better quarterback in this organization than Jim Kelly is concerned. So he is the best QB the Bills have ever had, and therefore he's going to be the quarterback of the all-time Buffalo Bills. Now, the fullback, which is actually a running back, is going to be a man that people know for being in prison, O.J. Simpson. So O.J. Simpson, for people, when you think about it, I know what you think, the case, everything, but as a football player, he was fantastic. He was a really good football player. He had everything for him. Honestly, in my opinion, you know, he retired already after that entire thing went down, but honestly, his reputation went down. If that didn't happen, if he was totally clean and everything, you're looking at a guy that would just be revered, honestly, as just a hero. He was bigger than life to America. He was everything that they needed, and he played for Buffalo. You know, he played for just, you know, he didn't play for the best team ever. He was playing for a Buffalo team and just being that inspirational guy. Like, he was fantastic to see. Great runner, great receiver. Like, he can catch for sure. And I think it's definitely going to help is that OJ is definitely taller than the running back that I'm going to put at. So I think he's definitely going to be a pretty good blocker. And I think definitely he can carry the load with this running back that I got, which I believe you guys know who this is. The running back is going to be Thurman Thomas. And honestly, you can put Jim Kelly, then you can put 2 running backs. You can put them side by side in certain formations where OJ's on the left side, Thurman's on the right side, for example. You know, you can put them anywhere. But, you know, for the sake of this, I could see OJ being, you know, he's a taller dude. He can be a pretty good fullback, I would say. And, I mean, you're looking at a guy in Thurman Thomas, elusive, quick, and tough back. Very underlooked because of Emmett, I think. And, you know, the 90s, it was definitely about Emmett and all that. People that didn't really give a damn about Thurman Thomas. He was a fantastic football player for the time. Just having, you know, Pro Bowls and All Pros and being an MVP. People knew who he was, but people didn't give him enough credit, I believe. And Thurman Thomas, great running back, you know, being able to rush for over 10,000 plus yards. He got to 12,000 plus yards, so he's a back that definitely can do wonders for this offense. OJ, Thurman, that's a pretty good back duo. Now, you want a wide receiver? You got to put Andre Reed. I think having Andre Reed is a very big asset. You know, Jim Kelly, Andre Reed, they know each other. We all know they know each other. They got that connection. So having Andre Reed is a no-brainer. I don't really have to explain why he should be on this list, on this team. I mean, you're looking at all the records he's broken. He's a guy that's a Hall of Famer. He's a guy that's caught many passes from Jim Kelly. And he's a guy that's almost eclipsed 1,000 receptions, but over 900 receptions. You know, that's pretty easy. The best receiver in Bills history, Andre Reed. So, yes, he is going to be on this list. And enough said. Just, you know, Kelly to Reed. That should be really fun to watch once again. Now, you can't just throw it to Andre Reed. You're going to need another guy, and it's going to be wide receiver Eric Moulds. Eric Moulds, very overlooked, but definitely the second best option in this really receiving core that they got, which I think it's okay. It's definitely not one of the strongest, in my opinion. I think their backs will definitely carry a lot of the weight because, you know, Andre, he's going to get covered a lot. So, but with that said, it's going to get a lot of options, a lot of open looks for Eric Moulds, which is a guy that's had a season. His best season was 100 receptions. I believe, yeah, over 1,000. He's had some marks where he's had over almost 1,500 receiving yards. He's his best receiving touchdowns in a year is 10. So he's a guy that can definitely impact the game. He's definitely a guy that you need to focus on. He can definitely catch. And he's a pretty good receiver overall. I think he's going to do great. Definitely a hard worker. He wouldn't be, if he wasn't a hard worker, he wouldn't be a third-time Pro Bowler. He wouldn't be a guy that would play for approximately 12 or some odd years. So overall, you got to put Eric Moulds in the fold. I think he's a very big part of what they are trying to do out here with this team. And honestly, we'll see how it goes. I know Andre Reed will not be getting that much in terms of reception-wise. He's not going to get like 10, 11 receptions because defenses will be on him. That's just, honestly. So it's going to be up to Eric Moulds and, and those two backs that can try to catch from the backfield, and the tight end that I will now share with you. Tight end Pete Metzelaars, which, yes, was a part of this 4-time AFC champion Buffalo Bills team. So overall, this is a guy that, yes, will be very helpful. He's a guy that has been helpful to a Jim Kelly, very overlooked guy as well. I think Jim Kelly will definitely have a pretty good time with passing it to Metzelaars. He's just a fantastic tight end. We need him. I think he will, he's definitely going to need a bigger role. This is pretty much a big role for him. He's going to be one of those focal point guys. When Reed is going to get covered, if he doesn't have much open space to receive, it's going to be Eric Moulds. If Eric Moulds gets covered pretty well, Metzelaars is definitely going to be a very big part of this Bills offense. So look out for him. He's definitely going to be a pretty good weapon. Now, you need a really good line, and I think this is a very good start, is left tackle John Fina, a guy that has been to actually no Pro Bowls, but he's been pretty solid offensive line starter. Played many years, under Jim Kelly, when Jim Kelly was gone, playing from 92 to 2002. Pretty good career overall. Is a Buffalo Bill for life. He played in 2002 in Arizona, but that was 1 year. He's literally played in Buffalo his entire career, so you got to give it up to him. John Fina, just a really great guy, first-round pick in 1992, and I don't think they really regret it. He's definitely one of the best offensive lines that they got, and I think he'll do pretty well. We'll definitely have to see against bigger, more stout defenses. I believe right now, left tackle position, it's important. I think John Fina can accomplish it. Now, you need a left guard. The left guard will be Jim Richer, a guy that is a 2-time Pro Bowler during his playing days career from 80 to 95. He's a part of those Jim Kelly Super Bowl teams. You got to expect offensive line. They got to 4 straight Super Bowls. The line had to have some sort of, honestly, they had to have some sort of, recommendation, some sort of credit. I mean, Thurman Thomas didn't get MVP because, he did it all himself. This is one of the few sports where it is a team sport overall, and the line needs to be credited. And I think, having that, you already got to put that he's been a part of 4 straight Super Bowls of offensive line, left guard, starting. Yeah, he's got to be on this. He's got experience of, how to get to big games. So I think his mentality is right there, and I think Fina, and as well as Richer, I like it. Now, center is Ken Hull. Overall, another guy, 3-time Pro Bowler, 2-time All-Pro. Center, played for the Bills from 86 to 96. Again, very big part of the Jim Kelly and, his entire connection. Overall, all I expect from him is just to play all the games, do what he can, block guys. That's what he's going to do. Ken Hull is a fantastic lineman, and this line of the 90s really does get overlooked. I believe that they did their part, and they did their job, and they blocked well, and they made sure that they didn't get really much of pressure. So all these guys are not Hall of Famers now, but they were productive in their playing days, and I think that can transition to an all-time team. All right, on the other side, it's going to start with right guard, Hall of Famer, and I am going to pronounce this wrong. I just guarantee it. His name is Joe Delamiliere. So it's very French of him. Definitely a French name for sure. But nothing about him is snotty. He's he's a guy that's been able to be a cornerstone lineman, cornerstone guard to the point where he is a Hall of Famer, being a 6-time Pro Bowler, being a 3-time All-Pro, being a very, very helpful offensive lineman to the Buffalo Bills in that 70s era. Overall, him and O.J. Simpson were kind of the main attraction. He was just great. He was great. I think, his entirety of his career, his value has always been there. Like, if he misses games, that's rough for the running backs, for the QB trying to get enough space so they can try to run plays, so they can get the ball out there quick. Honestly, he's a guy that's going to make sure that you don't have to worry about that. He's a guy that's going to protect you, going to protect that entire space, so he can give Thurman Thomas, he can give O.J. Simpson some holes. And honestly, this is someone that didn't play with Jim Kelly. I think Jim Kelly would be very safe with Joe. I think this will be a fantastic kind of, be a relief for him. He's got guys that he knows, and he's got guys that he doesn't, like he hasn't played with, but he knows from the old other generations they were very, very effective. Now, to close this line will be right tackle Ken Jones, a guy that actually played defensive end his first year and then went to offensive tackle. Overall, a guy that had a pretty solid career, never a Pro Bowl, never an All-Pro. He's not a Hall of Famer. And for the most part, yes, he had a pretty good impact on the line. Wasn't the greatest, but, he will do. He's definitely their best option they have at tackles in the offensive line. It does worry me a bit just because, he's been a guy more of a, it just doesn't seem like against those really, really heavy, like, tough defensive ends, defensive tackles. I don't know how that's gonna do. I feel like it's good to have Joe there to kind of reassure everything is under control. I think Holt, Richard will be pretty good, and I think Fino will be pretty good. But I could see this offensive line struggling. I really could. So we'll see how it goes. But as of right now, I think it's a pretty solid offensive team. I think their line, like I said, if they do their job, everything should be fine. I believe that these guys can get it done. Even Ken Jones.